Hello crochet lovers, how are you? Welcome to Crochet Lovers, the channel where we learn to crochet step by step. Today, I'm welcoming you to class 2 for our first crochet challenge. If you just got here and don't quite understand what I'm talking about, you can see the other class in the pull-down eye. In there, you'll find the blog post for the introduction and class 1 where we learn to make the head. Today, we'll learn to make the torso. And in the next class, we'll learn to make the legs. You need to find a rock that weighs about 150 grams. And that is as round as possible, so it can be super firmly set inside the torso. You'll see that right when we set the rock inside and add the filling, we'll increase the weight, but also the doll will be more real. Just remember that this is a personal choice. Another thing I wanted to tell you regarding the rock is that we should not use it for children under 18 months. So those are my recommendations for today's class. Now let's get crocheting. Here goes the tutorial. We'll begin with a slip knot, then we insert the hook, and now we'll crochet 20 chains. After that, we'll make a single crochet stitch in the second chain from the hook. And we'll keep making single crochet stitches in each stitch available until we get to the other side. I'm working on the last chain available. If you count the stitches, you'll have 19 single crochet stitches. So right where we made the last single crochet in the last chain, we'll make 3 single crochets more. So I should have 4 single crochets in that last chain. Making these stitches will help me turn the project, and they will set us at the other side so we can crochet from the bottom of the chains. We'll make 1 single crochet in the bottom of each chain, just as if we were mirroring what we did before. This last chain is already worked on, so we go to the next one. On this side, we make 1 single crochet. There it is. Then we make another single crochet in the next chain, and so on until we get to the other side, leaving us at the end with 18 single crochet stitches. I'm getting there. This stitch is number 17, in the chain that's second to last. And number 18 should be in the last one, which really was the first chain we worked on initially. Now, in order to finish this curve, in this corner we'll crochet 2 more single crochet stitches in that last chain. And with the single crochet we made in the beginning, we should have completed the curve of 4 single crochet stitches, just like the one we have on the other side. This is the beginning of the torso. We'll grow from here. And for proportion purposes, we should make sure it has almost the size of our head. We just have to keep crocheting in a spiral for 4 more rows with an increase in each row. I'll show you next how to do so. So for now, I'll mark the end of the first row. We can set the marker at the end of this row or at the beginning of the next one. The important thing is to mark the change of rows wherever we want. So now, let's begin with row 2. We'll make 1 single crochet in each stitch available until we get to the corner that has no marker in it. That's the first corner we'll be working on. We're almost there. I'm arriving to the corner that has no marker by making those single crochet stitches. And now we'll choose 1 stitch in that corner, in that curve we made, and we'll make an increase there. So I make single crochet stitches until we get to the selected stitch in the corner where we'll make 1 increase. 1 and 2 single crochet stitches in the same hole. We have made the increase in that first corner, which means that where I had 1 stitch, now I have 2. And now, I'll just keep making single crochet stitches until we get to the next corner, which is where we have the marker. So I keep making 1 single crochet stitch in each stitch available. Remember that in the written pattern, you'll see the number of stitches we should have by the end of each row. This will help us confirm we're doing the right thing. Right now, I've chosen this stitch to make the increase. But before, I'll just make the single crochets that are missing. And then I make 1 and 2 single crochet stitches in order to have the increase for this corner. I'll set the marker again in the last stitch of the row, but you can choose to set it in the beginning. And now I'll repeat that set of instructions 3 more times. We should have 4 rows like this one, with the same instructions. So I'll do the same one more time. This would be row 3. We just have to do the same thing, 1 single crochet in each stitch available until we get to the corner. Once we're there, we choose a stitch where we'll make the increase. I suggest you use the one at the very corner. So we just make single crochet stitches until we get there, and then we make the increase. For this first corner, remember that each corner has 1 increase, and then we keep making single crochet stitches until we get to the second corner, which is where we have set the marker. I'm already there, so I'll make stitches until I get to my selected stitch, which is this one, and then we make the increase. This is how we finish the third row. We did an increase in each corner and then single crochet stitches in all the rest. Remember that these instructions will be the same for rows 4 and 5. We will end up with 4 rows with 1 increase in each corner. I've finished now row 5. We can now see the first row we had to begin the base, and then the 4 rows with an increase in each corner. We should have the form of a little boat. And now the instructions are very simple. From row 6 to row 23, we'll just be making 1 single crochet in each stitch available, no increases or decreases. Right now, we should have 50 stitches, 50 top loops at the end of each row. That's how we know we're doing it right. And when we are at row 10 or 11, we must stop to make the belly button if we want our doll to have one. We need to locate the central stitch. I'm on row 10 right now. We bring in some yarn with the hook on one side and on the other side of that central stitch. And now, with those 2 threads, we'll tie 4 or 5 knots, as many as you want, in order to create the relief for the belly button. After this, we bring both threads inside the torso, where we'll tie 2 more knots to set the yarn for the belly button. We don't do anything with those threads. We can leave them there and they'll be hidden with the filling inside the body. This is how row 10 looks with the belly button in the middle. For the next row, we just need to keep making 1 single crochet in each stitch available, and the belly button will be incorporated seamlessly to the project. We keep moving. Remember that we need to make until row 23. And right now, even if this is not the real ending of row 23, we'll take it as an ending so we can flatten out the project. Then we make 2 stitches from that corner we created. And after those 2 stitches from the corner we made after we flattened the project, we begin with row 24. So we'll now set the marker here, and this is where we'll begin with row 24, which is the row where we will be making the decreases. Row 24 begins with 10 single crochet stitches, 1 in each stitch available. This will lead us almost to the center of the front part. Now we'll make 1 decrease. Use the same type of decrease you used for the head. I went with option 3, which is just to skip a stitch. I've done my decrease now. Then we make another 10 single crochet stitches. And we should be getting to the other corner. Right now, we'll make 2 decreases in a row. So I'll just make the first one, and immediately after, I'll make the other decrease. And now, we make 9 single crochet stitches, which should be at the back of our doll's torso. I'm almost at the center, where we'll make another decrease. And then we make another 9 single crochet stitches in order to get to the other corner. After those 9 single crochets, we should have 4 stitches to go in this row. And that's where we'll make 2 decreases in a row. 1, and then the second one. We have finished row 24. And now we're ready to begin row 25, which is very similar. We begin with 9 single crochet stitches. They will lead us right to the middle of the front part, where we'll make 1 decrease. After that, we make 9 single crochet stitches to get to the corner. And right here, we make 2 consecutive decreases. This row is very similar to row 24. We just changed the number of single crochet stitches. Here, we'll make 7 single crochets. 1 decrease at the center of the back. Then another 7 single crochet stitches. And 2 consecutive decreases right here in the corner. These decreases mark the end of row 25. And after row 25, we are at the very important stage because it's the moment when we'll be adding the filling. I'll set some filling at the base of the body, and right now we should bring in the rock. We have to cover the rock from the front, from the back, and from the sides so that it's not in contact with the skin of our doll. It should be surrounded by filling from all sides, and always try to distribute the filling so that it's proportional to the head. When we have finished adding the filling, don't worry, we can always correct the distribution. But for now, we'll do rows 26 and 27. With these two, we'll drastically close off the torso so we can remove the marker now. And we'll just make 1 single crochet and 1 decrease, one and then the other until we get to the first corner. We'll alternate the single crochet stitches and decreases. We'll be able to make this sequence about 6 times for this row. I've gotten to the first corner now. And what we'll do is leave 4 stitches in that corner. The 4 that are more towards the corner. Because with them, we'll make a 4-stitch decrease. For this type of decrease, we'll yarn over in each one of those stitches, and then we'll pull through all of them. So we yarn over in the first stitch, then in the second one, then in the third one. Remember to leave all the loops on the hook. And finally, we yarn over in the 4th stitch. We should have 5 loops on the hook. We pull through all of them together. And that's how we make a 4-stitch decrease, which will help us drastically close the shoulder area. Now we keep crocheting until we get to the other corner, where we will also make the 4-stitch decrease. So you can locate those 4 stitches as of now. And remember that the sequence to get there is 1 single crochet and 1 decrease, 1 single crochet and 1 decrease. We'll keep crocheting until we get to the corner. And when we arrive to those 4 stitches, we'll yarn over in each one of them. 1, 2, 3. With the filling, it's a bit tricky. And 4. We have 5 loops on the hook. We pull through all of them and we should have our 4-stitch decrease ready. For row 27, we'll repeat the same instructions, only now the corners are much closer to each other. So we'll alternate single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease until we get to this corner. One of the corner's top loops is the one from the decrease we did on the previous row. Remember, we'll have to work on that too. We yarn over the 4 stitches and then we pull through. That's the decrease for row 27. And we'll make the other one on the other side. And then we close off the row. This circle doesn't close completely, so don't worry about that. It's the hole for the neck. And now we just need to cut the yarn, but leaving a thread of about 30 centimeters, so we can later stitch the torso to the head. It's time to check the filling is correctly set. This is our last chance to add filling to the torso. Now we visualize the part of the head that we'll stitch together to the body, and then we just get to it. We'll use our yarn needle to go through the stitches. We go through one in the head and one in the neck. And we use the row we're on in the head as a guide. We go through some stitches with our needle to attach the head. Remember to pull the yarn, but not too tight so we can keep stitching together the head and the neck while we can still see the stitches in both parts. Pull the yarn and keep stitching. Don't worry if with the first stitches it seems like the head is turning to another direction. With the following stitches we can correct that and set it properly looking to the front. So we go over this several times. I went around 3 times, so that the head is super tightly attached. And then we close off with a knot and hide that thread inside our doll's head. Well, crochet lovers, that's it for today. Let's get working on the torso. And I'll be here next Tuesday ready to learn along with you how to make the legs for our doll. Remember, you can always post your progress on the Facebook group. And in the meantime, have a great day, crochet lovers!